Did you know that some of the world's greatest cities still bear the marks of colonial empires? From grand architectural marvels to deep cultural imprints, colonial rule has left a legacy that continues to shape these urban giants today. But which cities hold the most fascinating stories? Stick around as we reveal the top 10 cities shaped by colonialism and prepare to be amazed. Colonialism is a controversial chapter in human history, and its impact on cities around the world is undeniable. We'll be exploring how colonial powers transformed these urban landscapes, some for the better and some with painful consequences. Our ranking is based on the lasting impact on urban development, culture, and modern day influences. Let's get started. At number 10, we have Buenos Aires. The capital of Argentina wears its Spanish colonial roots on its sleeve. Founded in the 16th century, it became a hub of European culture in South America. The Spanish sought to establish Buenos Aires as a key trading hub, and despite early struggles with indigenous resistance and harsh conditions, the city flourished under colonial rule. Spanish influence is most evident in the city's grand colonial architecture, from the Casa Rosada to the Plaza de Mayo. But what truly stands out is how Buenos Aires evolved, blending European elegance with Latin passion. The tango, born in the working-class neighborhoods, is a testament to this cultural fusion. Today, you'll find a city bursting with life, where tango, football, and art converge in a distinctly Argentine spirit. But the colonial foundations remain, influencing everything from language to cuisine. Up next, we head to number 9, Jakarta, formerly known as Batavia. This bustling metropolis was the beating heart of Dutch colonial power in Southeast Asia. The Dutch East India Company established Batavia in the early 17th century, turning it into a major trading port. The Dutch influence is apparent in Jakarta's canals and Dutch-style buildings, which stand in stark contrast to traditional Indonesian homes. However, colonial rule was not without its hardships, as the native population faced exploitation and harsh treatment. The economic structures established by the Dutch also continued to impact Jakarta's modern-day trade. Jakarta's colonial past has shaped its infrastructure and cultural melting pot. Today, it's a city of contradictions, old Dutch forts beside futuristic skyscrapers. What do you think is the most striking aspect of Jakarta's colonial past? Share your thoughts in the comments below. At number 8 is Cape Town, a city that tells a tale of two colonial powers, the Dutch and the British. The Dutch first established a settlement in the 17th century, using it as a supply station for ships traveling to the East Indies. Later, the British seized control, leaving their own mark on the city. Cape Town's architecture reflects this history, with Dutch Cape houses and British colonial buildings standing side by side. The city's strategic location at the southern tip of Africa made it a key stop for maritime trade. But Cape Town's colonial past is not all grandeur. It also includes the painful history of apartheid, a direct consequence of British rule. The segregation laws tore apart families and communities, and the scars of this era are still felt today. Yet, Cape Town is a vibrant city where colonial influence is interwoven with African heritage, creating a unique blend of cultures. Number 7 is Manila, the capital of the Philippines. Colonized by Spain for over 300 years, Manila is a city of contrasts. The Spanish left an indelible mark on its architecture, from the historic walled city of Intramuros to grand Catholic cathedrals. Intramuros, with its stone walls and ancient churches, stands as a testament to Spanish dominance and the spread of Catholicism. But after Spain, the United States took over, further shaping Manila with American urban planning, introducing wider streets and a more modern city layout. Despite these changes, the heart of Manila still beats to the rhythm of its colonial past. Today, Manila's colonial legacy is visible in its blend of Spanish charm and American influence, making it a city that tells the story of two colonial powers. At number 6 is Mumbai, once known as Bombay. The British transformed this city from a cluster of fishing villages into the bustling financial capital of India. They built significant infrastructure, including railways, ports, and iconic landmarks like the Gateway of India and the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus. These colonial-era buildings showcase a mix of Victorian and Gothic architectural styles that continue to impress visitors. However, the British also imposed economic policies that exploited India's resources, contributing to widespread poverty and inequality. Mumbai's colonial past is woven into the city's identity, from its legal systems to its educational institutions. Yet, the city has evolved, becoming a vibrant metropolis where colonial history meets Bollywood glamour and innovation. Next, at number 5, we have Lagos. The British colonial period profoundly shaped this Nigerian city, turning it into a key economic hub. Lagos became the administrative and trade center of British Nigeria, benefiting from infrastructure developments like ports and roads. But British rule also introduced deep social and economic divides, which have had lasting repercussions. Colonial policies favored British interests, and the legacy of these inequalities still influences Lagos' urban landscape today. Nevertheless, Lagos is now one of Africa's fastest growing cities, a cultural powerhouse of music, art, and entrepreneurship, but the complexities of its colonial past are still part of its story. At number 4 is Hong Kong, a city where British colonial rule left a lasting impact. For over 150 years, Hong Kong was a British colony acquired after the Opium Wars. The British developed Hong Kong into a major financial hub, and their influence is visible in the legal system, architecture, and even everyday life. The Victoria Harbour skyline and colonial-era buildings are reminders of this past. Despite being handed back to China in 1997, Hong Kong's colonial history continues to shape its culture, governance, and identity. It's a city where East truly meets West, a place that continues to balance traditional Chinese values with British customs. Number 3 is Casablanca, Morocco. Under French colonial rule, Casablanca was transformed into a modern metropolis. French architects and urban planners designed wide boulevards, Art Deco buildings, and modern infrastructure, turning the city into a showcase of French influence in North Africa. But the colonial era also brought social and economic disparities that have left a lasting impact. The local population often faced discrimination, and the wealth gap between the colonizers and the locals was stark. Today, Casablanca is a bustling economic center, a blend of French sophistication and Moroccan traditions, but its colonial past is still woven into the city's character. At number 2 is Hanoi, Vietnam. French colonial rule left an indelible mark on Hanoi's architecture, cuisine, and even language. The French Quarter is famous for its tree-lined boulevards and grand colonial buildings, which contrast with traditional Vietnamese structures. But French rule also brought oppression and exploitation, with Vietnamese people forced to work in harsh conditions and stripped of their rights. The struggle for independence was long and painful, but today, Hanoi stands as a city that blends French charm with Vietnamese resilience. From the aroma of French baguettes at street stalls to the elegant colonial villas, Hanoi is a living testament to its complex history. And finally, at number 1, we have Mexico City. Colonized by Spain in the early 16th century, Mexico City was built on the ruins of the Aztec capital Tenochtitlan. The Spanish influence is everywhere, from the Metropolitan Cathedral, built using stones from destroyed Aztec temples, to the layout of the historic center. Colonial rule brought profound changes to the city's culture, economy, and religion, many of which still resonate today. Yet, despite centuries of colonial rule, Mexico City remains a place where indigenous traditions have survived and thrived. The Day of the Dead, a festival with pre-Hispanic roots, is a vibrant reminder of Mexico's unique cultural blend. Colonialism may have ended decades ago, but its influence lingers in these cities, shaping their cultures, economies, and even their identities. Which city surprised you the most, or did we miss one of your favorites? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this historical journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to join us for more explorations of the world's most fascinating cities.